everybody. Welcome back to Soul Speak with Jenny Israel. I am doing a very special Soul Tribe Saturday this week for Valentine's Day with my girl, Christina Amador.
Oh my gosh.
Christina is the founder, co-creator of Awaken Your Goddess. She is a certified teacher and practitioner of Reiki and a yoga and meditation teacher and instructor. And when I was thinking about what I wanted to do for the proverbial month of love, I really wanted to focus on self-love from a place of like real radical self-care and from a place of not necessarily focusing on attracting a mate, but attracting the best version of ourselves and what we can and should be doing this month to focus on that. And little did I know when I was planning on, well, I have reached out to Christina like 3 weeks ago to put this on the calendar, what a shit show this month would be, energetically, for so many people. And, I mean, we knew that February was a month that we would be focusing within and that relationship stuff would come up and, that we would be moving through our stuff because it's retrograde. And, these were all things that we were anticipating, but I don't think that we were truly anticipating the profound impact that it was going to have, and really trying to find this balance of being where we are, but keeping a high vibrational perspective on what's going on. And the theme of self-love this month is so much deeper than I expected it to be, from the perspective of really, really tuning into our joy, tuning into our gifts, tuning into our power, our personal power. Um, and, you know, Christina is, she's a friend, but she's also a client. And the last couple of times that the two of us have gotten together, it was like, all right, girl, you've got some major goddess energy coming in. And when are you going to start talking about sexual power and sexual gifts? Because this is part of your calling, and we all need you to help us access this thing that I think has been missing, especially for females, and being able to tap into the full power of our self-love through our sacral chakras and understanding ourselves as sexual powerful beings and what that means. There's so much taboo, shame, guilt, all of those things that have painted over our sexuality for so long, that I think we've forgotten that it's also the home of our creativity and our intuition and our physical energy. There's so much going on at the base of the Kundalini down in there. And I think that we have forgotten the spiritual aspect of this. And so this is why I knew that Christina was the best one to be talking to you guys this month about this. So first of all, I want Christina to just introduce herself and for those of you who don't know her, so you can learn a little bit about who she is and why she does what she does.
Hi guys. Thank you, Jenny, for having me.
Yes, of course.
It's actually really ironic that you asked me to come on this month, the month of love, and coincidentally of this sexual revolution, spiritual revolution that we're all facing, and especially as women, like we're coming together. And let's see, where do I begin? Let me start with from childhood. So my mother was a healer. So I grew up where my mother would heal herself. She would have like a cut, she'd go like this, and then it would disappear. And I remember as a little girl being like, what? Like, this is not normal. Like, this is very weird. And I never want to do this. I never want to speak to spirit or tap into that world because it's really creepy. And I slept with the light on until I was like 26 years old. And, I got married. I did in my 20s. I actually waited till marriage to lose my virginity because I grew up as a good Catholic girl. and I was going to go to hell and really, this is really like in my head, because unfortunately my mom passed when I was 12. So I was raised by my father, who said I was going to go to hell if I didn't wait till marriage. So I got married. I met my husband at 19. I bought a house. I had my beautiful daughter, and I had like the whole white picket fence, like beautiful life. And I thought that's what it was for me in my 20s. And I wasn't happy. Like there was something that was missing. And I'm like, how can I be so, unhappy and lacking? And I have everything, and I'm so grateful. And I remember one time I was praying to my angels, I was praying to my mom in heaven, and I just said, I just want to be happy. Like I just want happiness and fulfillment, and to feel alive, because I felt like it was almost like Groundhog Day. Like the same shit, same, I don't want to curse, but same stuff every day. And I was like, I felt like my life was passing me by. And I was like, this isn't, there has to be more to life than this. And then boom, I guess after that prayer, a few years later, if you guys are familiar with the Tower card, that was basically my life. The Tower card, the crumbling, like within a year span, my husband left me. I lost, I had a brand new Audi that I was so proud of. It got totaled. My dog died. I lost my best friend. And the last missing piece was my house that I bought at 22 years old, that my daughter was born in, that my mom died in, that was mine, that I was so proud of, because I was like, I'm successful. I made it if I have a house, and I bought a house. I couldn't afford it anymore as a single mother. So that was like the turning point for me, where I literally put my hands up. I surrendered, and I said, God, angels, like I give up. I just, whatever you have planned for me, because something's happening, and I'm completely out of control. And hopefully you're not punishing me up there. It did feel like a punishment, but it was just really, really, really dark night of the soul shit. Like it was like I was at my darkest. I almost, like, I don't want to say contemplated suicide, but there were moments in my head where I was like, I don't want to be here anymore. Like, what the fuck? Like, what else are you gonna take from me? So that's when my real spiritual journey happened. And that's kind of like, fast forward now, 5 years later, what I practice, what I preach is the breakdown is so, it's so, there's so much magic in that. And but through that journey, I had my fun, my sexual fun, because I never got to experience that, in my 20s. And I learned so much about myself. And I tapped into my manifesting. And I mean, like, life truly, I don't have as much now as I did before, but I'm so happy and fulfilled. And it almost like freaks me out, because I'm like, wait, I don't have the husband in the house right now. Why am I so happy? Like, why am I? And for me, it was just going within and finding the home within, and loving her and healing her and the inner child and all the trauma that she's been with. And it's like some of us confuse it with, oh, if that girl, takes care of herself and she's confident, then she's conceited. And in my eyes, I'm like, no, 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 you got to love and take care of yourself, and dress her well, and nourish her, and give her, beautiful orgasms. Like, you are responsible for you, nobody else, no one else, and it sounds messed up to say, but everyone else is looking out for themselves. So the only one that's going to truly look out for you, and who's going to love you and take care of you, is you. So I learned that through my journey, and which led me to where I am now. And I'm very grateful for my divorce and everything that I've experienced in my life thus far.
How did Awaken Your Goddess, how was that born?
Oh, so Awaken Your God. Oh my God, that took so many years to come up with that name. And I always resonated with the word goddess. Like, I always thought it was so magical, so mystical. And it's through I had so many teachers, so many healers, going to therapy, and they always spoke about goddess and goddess energy. And I'm like, oh my God, like I want to be a goddess. I want to tap into my goddess. And I did through meditation. And now I get to, you know, awaken that within my girls or my tribe or my community, and to say like, you are beautiful, you are amazing, you're so freaking powerful, like you could have whatever you want, whatever you dream of.
So let's talk about that structure a little bit, because you're talking about your girls. And for those of you who haven't previewed the services that Christina offers through her Awaken Your Goddess program, there's actually a group, a goddess group, through her monthly subscription program that has grown, I mean, in amazing ways. So talk a little bit about what that program is and what the structure is, how all of these women came to be your goddess circle.
Oh my God, my tribe. I love my, okay. So last year we were in a freaking pandemic, which we're still in now. And I just remember, because I was doing, my Reiki, my healings, and I was a makeup artist at the time, and everything just went whoop. And I was just praying like I usually do, and asking the angels, and I said, just give me an idea that's gonna help others, and that's gonna kind of, make me some money, so that I'm not like a single mother on the street. So this is how it works, and this is like what I preach and what I teach my, anyone, my girls. It comes as like that little download, that little bloop, as soon as you ask, like you'll receive. You just have to listen. So it was like, start a tribe, start like a membership. And I'm like, okay. And then of course ego comes, and it's like, no, you're gonna suck, no one's gonna join, you're gonna fail miserably. Like, I mean, we are human, like every worst case scenario thing was going on in my head. But I've learned through my journey, just, obviously of losing everything, before that, just like my mantra was like, fuck it, like what's gonna happen, let's just see what's gonna happen. And so I did it. And so to me, maybe, I don't know if it's a Libra thing, or I'm very like, I'm all about community. Like I think we're so much stronger and so much more powerful together than separate. That's why I go to church, or you go to temple. So I was like, I want a group of, witchy woo woo, or learning their witchy woo woo ness and their spiritualness, where we can, not, because I remember when I was going through my awakening, I would talk to like some of my friends. They'll be like, what are you talking about? Like, you're weird. Like, what do you mean you talk to the angels? Or what do you mean, like, you see angel numbers or crystals that, or this? They would make fun of, why are you wearing those bracelets? So I was like, you know what? I'm going to create my own tribe, and I'm going to manifest the right girls to come together. And I'm not even going to look for it. Like I never look for, I rarely advertise for it, once a month. And all of a sudden, all these, beautiful souls were coming towards me. And one big thing is no bullying. Like I'm all about like female empowerment, and I'm very protective over my girls. So there's absolutely no bullying. There's no making fun. And what I've created since, I believe I started in May, what has happened was so much love and so much support, so much growth. We're learning about chakras, about crystals, about releasing and clearing. And every month is a new topic. And the girls have, a lot of the girls have manifested new businesses. A handful of girls have manifested new boyfriends, particularly, obviously last year, 2020, when no one's meeting anyone, like, myself included, we manifested together. Some of them found love, money, lost weight, like the list goes on and on and on. So it's just a coming together in a group. And I'm sorry. And Jenny, and you spoke at one, which was so amazing, all about intuition.
That was so fun. So much fun. And what an amazing group of women. And I mean, there's such an eclectic soul group inside of that. And I've been so fortunate to be a part of the private group that you get to be a part of once you join the membership. Christina has a whole online community where everybody is talking every day and, sharing their goals and sharing their manifestation exercises for the month. And, there's a book club. It's like this whole opportunity to learn this language
Mm-hmm.
that allows you to be a greater, deeper, more authentic self. And like you said, it's like you're in a place where you can be totally naked
Yeah.
because no one is judging you and everyone's looking for the same level of support and everybody wants to learn and everybody, it's such a really beautiful, and man, there's some powerful women in there, powerful healers, and some that are just like discovering themselves in that way. And I think that February offer, I mean, this is from my perspective, but your February group isn't just offering your members the opportunity to be naked and vulnerable. That was my theme for the month, is like get naked, because this month is the perfect opportunity to truly root into your support systems and be vulnerable in
Mm-hmm.
a different way. And this wasn't just for your girls. You've been doing this for the last like 6 months. I encourage you all to, we only have a little bit of time here on the podcast today, but Christina is very much like me, where she is not afraid to put it out there and tell her story. And so if you want to learn about her, all you have to do is join her social media community, because she puts it all out there. She's not afraid to talk about her own experiences and the levels of growth and learning that she's gone through in her own self-discovery. And it provides a lot of very real life inspiration. And I mean, you have truly gone to a whole different level of sexual power and true vulnerability, not just in your own personal life, but like actually exposing that to other people so they could come along for the ride, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what whatever you feel, um, spirit has been showing you, not just this month, but over your journey over the last year or even just the last 6 months, um, to help impart some of this to the people that are listening, of what does radical self-love even mean, and some really easy ways that people can start tapping into this vulnerability and maybe start answering some of their own questions that have been rolling around in their bodies for a while and that they were kind of afraid to look at.
Well, I mean, I could talk for days about this, but I'll speak for me. Radical self-love is just taking, okay, I'm assuming whoever's listening is most likely a light worker or an empath, right? So we're constantly giving, we're constantly like even from an empty cup. Like before yesterday, I felt like Mercury's retrograde and all this, planetary stuff that's going on. I felt so depleted, and I just needed to take a moment just for myself, just to meditate and connect with myself, just to fill myself up. So just taking a moment, 5 minutes out of a 24-hour day isn't a lot, just to sit and listen to yourself, because sometimes you're crying inside, and it's almost like this inner child like just wants attention from you and just wants a little bit of love. And I love to place my hands on my heart and feel my heartbeat and speak to myself. And I'll talk to her as I'm talking to you. Like I'll just say, I love you. Like I'm not abandoning you. I support you. Like, let's make these dreams come true. And that has gotten me a lot further than the negative ego talk that's like, you suck, you're fat, you're ugly, you're never gonna make it. So it's like paying attention to what's going on in your head, and that happens with being still and trying to shift those thoughts. And then, I mean, even though we're not really going out and there's snow out, just put some makeup on. And this is because I'm a makeup artist, but put some makeup on. put a little lipstick, a little gloss, like even if you're not going anywhere, just to like feel pretty externally on your, in your body, wear something pretty, wear something soft, maybe take like a little like selfie of yourself that you don't have to show anybody, wear your heels, like do something that makes you feel like good and pretty and luxurious. I don't know. That's what that's
No, I love that. There's like, you see those classic memes that are like the old Liz Taylor, or, like those old memes that shows like, girl, get up, get dressed and put on your lipstick,
yes.
like, and there are, I mean, there are going to be women out there listening to this that don't wear makeup, and that's fine. That's not what this is about. It's
No.
about being able to get up and give yourself enough personal care time that you feel fresh and you feel good and you feel confident. So whether that means you're getting up and putting on your makeup is doesn't matter. I mean, you could put on the sexiest underwear and bra that you have underneath your leggings and your tank top, like, like whatever it is that is going to make you feel good. And it's like it is one of those, like my husband will say, well, what are you all dressed up for? I was like, well, because every time that I walk down the hallway and I look over and see myself in the mirror, I want to be able to be like, oh, who's that? Who's that girl? And it's not for anybody
It
but
isn't for,
me.
it isn't for anybody but yourself. And like we're souls having a human experience, right? So the universe, God, whatever you believe in, gave us this body, this temple, and we have to adorn it with beautiful things. And I'm not saying every single day, but especially if you're feeling stuck or you're feeling like shit or you're feeling like ugh, I guarantee you, if you just put a little bit of makeup on, you do your hair, you put earrings, you just wear something pretty, and you look in the mirror, and you could even speak to yourself, take it a step further and even speak to yourself and just be like, you're so beautiful. I guarantee you it'll shift your, I know it sounds crazy, but it's better than the other side of our negative thoughts, our ego that's like, oh, you gained 10 pounds during COVID, like, oh, don't eat that cake. Like, it's better to, I don't know, you have to make her happy.
Mm-hmm. I mean, and these are, and this is what I asked Christina for, like super simple things that are very accessible that you can do any day of the week. 5 minutes of breath work, 5 minutes
Yeah.
of stillness, 5 minutes of connecting with your heart, 5 minutes. I mean, and we all have 5 minutes. We can all find 5 minutes in our day, whether you start your day that way or end your day that way or both. And doing something that is going to perk up your energy field. So every time you see yourself in a reflection, or you feel the clothes that you're wearing, or whatever it is, that it makes you feel good. So let's look at the other side of this. Let's deep dive a little bit. I know that you, like me, have started picking up the collective vibrations inside of the individuals that you see
Yes.
start to add up into these collective messages, where we can't help but get these messages from spirit that we know are reverberating all over the globe.
Mm.
So what have you been picking up this month with the people that you've been working with, the things you're going through? What has been the most important thing around self-care and self-love and all of these things that we've been talking about that you feel is the most important thing this month?
So I feel like for the collective and even for myself, because we're all one connected, just feeling stuck, like feeling like, um, at least for me, like being grateful for being in the present moment, but like not being where you want to be, and almost like being stuck, like, oh, I want that so bad. Like, I'm not going to be happy until I get that. And I have to check myself. I have to be like, no, 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 be grateful. And gratitude has been helping me this whole retrograde tremendously. Like, I have to start my day and end it with gratitude, because I don't want to be like, oh, I don't have that house, I don't have that car, I don't have this, I don't have that, and almost like I view the universe, because I'm very much into manifesting, like, if you have a child and they're spoiled and they're asking and they're asking and they're asking and they're not giving thanks, as the parent, you're going to be like, go get away. Like, you're not grateful for anything I'm giving you. So why am I going to give you anything more? So instead, having a child that's like, oh my God, mom, thank you for that piece of candy, and thank you for this. So I view myself as a child with the universe being my parent. So instead of saying, oh, I want that, I want this, I have to check myself and say, no, 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 you're grateful for your health with what everything's going on in the world, grateful for, your hair that was literally last year falling out in chunks. Like, it's like little things that I have to stop. And also, law of attraction, when you are in a place of gratitude and you're grateful, you'll naturally, without even thinking, attract more things to be grateful for. So just staying in that place of gratitude has helped me, and what I've been preaching to my girls, to my tribe.
Well, what is going on in the box of goodies for the month of February? What have you been doing with your
Oh my
girls
God. So
this
this
month?
month is actually so I'll tell you, okay, so we have a couple of meditations. We have a Zumba class with my love, Brian Thompson. He's doing a Zumba class for us, which I'm another thing that raises my vibration is dance, hands down. And that's all your sacral and moving your, all that kundalini, all that good stuff around. So we're doing Zumba. We have a book club. The book of the month is Big Magic by Elizabeth Gilbert, which is phenomenal. Everyone needs to read that book. So good for creative energy. And then the circle, one of my girls, Christina King, is doing a journal to self. So we're journaling workshop. And then I'm doing, for the first time ever, and I've been so hesitant about doing a circle around this, but Jenny knows, like, every time I see Jenny, we're always talking about, for some reason, sex always comes up with me, because in your sacral chakra, we also store, at least for me, my abandonment issues, my trauma, my childhood traumas, all that stuff is stored there. So we're actually talking about sexual energy, and we're going to get nice and juicy. We're going to have some wine. I always tell the girls, like, create your sacred space, bring your wine or tea. And then we're going to talk, about sex.
Mhm.
And, but it's going to be sacred also. It's going to be, how to breathe together with your partner, how to breathe within yourself. Like, I don't want to say masturbation, but self pleasure. Like,
Mhm.
I had to learn at like 30 something, 35, how to do it properly. And said, I don't know. Well,
Mhm.
come and join the circle, and I'll share with you my what I've learned through my journey. And it's been pretty good.
I'm so glad that you are finally doing this. I mean, this woman is like the living incarnation of like walking Isis around the planet. And I mean, this is like she's been called to do this for such a long time, and I'm really glad that you are making manifest of it, that it's being born.
Thanks to
Um,
you
and
for pushing
well,
me.
you're the one doing all the hard work. I was just the one giving you the message over and over and over again. But it was, I mean, it's to the point where we start to really look at the union of our soul with another soul, and the power that God gave us inside of that union, inside of sexual power, instead of it just being an act,
Yep.
that we want to. It's like we're so desperate for an intimate connection with someone that the only thing that we've ever been taught how to do is to have sex,
Yep.
instead of being able to have that sexual intimacy inside of a spiritual conversation, or with our own body, or
Yep.
like, and in a way that is free from guilt, free from shame, free from sin,
Mm-hmm.
like the Catholic girl that you talk about. I mean, there's so many objections and blocks around us being able to tap into that power, and being able to offer an alternative perspective that says, oh, hey, if you don't clear this channel and start moving this energy through your body, you're not going to manifest shit in your life.
Yeah. 100%.
FYI. Or
100%.
if you're trying to birth something new, a new job, a new relationship, a new project, a new endeavor, a new business, like whatever it is, if there is not a clear space inside of your womb female or male, then where is that new idea going to take root and be able to grow into conception? There's nowhere for it to go. And so this is the true nature of soulful sexual practice, is understanding the energy inside of that, and how to practice that in ways in our everyday life that feels good. And God, oh my God, you want to talk about unpacking Pandora's box? Like, you're going to come up against some big stuff, like fears, ancestral blocks. I mean, all kinds of, juicy is a good word.
Yeah.
Definitely a good word. Juicy stuff.
Yes.
And no, it's not all going to be easy to move through, but when you think about the impact and the rewards that are on the other side of that, and that's why I encourage you, just reach out to Christina. Just go be a part of her circle. Have an experience with her, because she's not one to hold back. Like I said, this is where we're under a timeline here on this podcast. I mean, we could talk for hours.
Yeah.
But this is something that, like she said, once you're on the inner circle, you're never going to escape. You're in forever. It's like drinking the Kool-Aid. You don't you don't go back. And you'll get to hear her journey, and just the profound changes that she's experienced, the awakenings that she's experienced. And she's a beautiful soul to connect with, and the network that she has created. There's so many beautiful, amazing, powerful women in those groups. And I only anticipate it's a matter of time before the men start showing up. I just,
Actually, it's so funny you said that. Our last month's circle, I know Jenny, Drew, Sam's
mhm,
that he led the circle, and it blew my mind. I can't, and it was like we were doing shadow work, and he was leading it, and all the girls, we were like, oh my God, like some of, like, I was like getting teary eyed, like, and he held space. So I can't wait for the guys to show up.
well,
And
Drew's like the perfect balance between masculine and feminine. Like,
yeah,
there's no better person. Not to mention the fact that he is serious about his shadow work. So
oh
I
yes.
can only imagine how powerful that must have been. But the men are showing up. I mean, it's a movement that's happening right now. So it's only a matter of time before your circle starts broadening, and you're going to have to change your business name.
I was thinking that. But for now, it is the women, because I am very like, I love my girls. I love girls. But once the guys start showing up, well, I don't think they'll get intimidated by the name, I believe. Like, I think that they would be like, they'll embrace it. And then we could talk about sacred sexual energy with men too. How, that's a whole other
Mhm,
topic. But I think
mhm.
that the women, we need to come together and embrace our sexual selves and love that part of us, and enjoy it, enjoy the pleasure without guilt.
Mhm. Well, any final thoughts or wisdom to impart on our Soul Speak crowd here?
No, I think I appreciate you having me on this month. Again, it's so synchronistic, because my group is all about, like, this month is about sexual energy, which is what I've been working with you on for like a few years now. That could be another podcast, or another day about that. That's really funny. But no, and I'm going to teach, one of during my circle at the end of this month, I'm going to teach them how to manifest with this sexual energy, something that I use to manifest something really fast into my life.
That's so exciting.
Yeah.
So then tell people how to find you. What's the best way to come and find you?
So you could follow me on Instagram, Awaken Your Goddess, or you could visit my website, which is also awakenyourgoddess.com. And you could DM me anytime. I always tell, like, anyone that follows me, if you have any questions or any concerns or anything, like, I'm here for you. And just remember that you're not alone at all. Trust me, you're not alone.
No, and the tribe is growing rapidly, and I'm just in awe of it all the time.
Yeah.
The power that's inside of that. So you can also find the details in the podcast here, or in the YouTube YouTube info, depending on where you're tuning in. I'm wishing you all a very, very happy Valentine's Day, self-love day, coming down out of the new moon energy this past week. What a powerful manifestation week this is, and counting down the days until we're out of Mercury retrograde and we can start to swim to the surface again. Because man,
I'm literally counting the days.
oh my goodness, it's a doozy, but I do very much believe that when we break the surface this time, it's going to be a whole new world. I am very much, I have my crosshairs set on that, for the light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah.
But I just want to thank all of you again for tuning in to Soul Speak with Jenny Israel, and Christina Amador today for our Soul Tribe Saturday. Thank you again, Christina, for taking this time to talk to everybody.
Thank you.
I hope everybody enjoyed getting to know her. Go and find her, be a part of this amazing movement that she is creating each and every month, and the opportunities to grow. And wishing you all peace and blessings, healing and love, self and otherwise, for the rest of this month. And until next time, love you guys. Thanks for tuning in to Soul Speak. See you next time.